And then the third was Once Upon a Jester, where you play as a traveling theater show, which is trying to get into the royal theatrical spectacle in order to steal the diamond from the royal palace. So you go roaming, doing an improvised theater show every night, usually influenced by song in some way, so that you can get bouquets of flowers in each town to get enough to qualify for the royal theatrical spectacle, and then steal the diamond from the castle. So you and your friend, you play as Jester and Sock. Sock is an actual sock. And I love this game. I think this game is utterly charming, where it's like you do these performances every day. So you choose a core play, there's one of 4, and then through the play you make a series of decisions, like based on genres, and the genres the crowd likes, you can walk around the town to discover whether they're into a horror play tonight, or a dramatic one, or an action based, or a musical, and you can just choose a bunch of like different genre decisions based on that. So like the one of them is like you're carving a statue, and you carve the statue into either like something with an evil tentacle that you have to slay, or you do a song and it becomes a musical statue, or you end up fighting with 2-headed dragons. And like all the plays feel improvised, and even though there's only like 4 templates, all the decisions you can make send the plays in like different skewing directions, so it feels fresh every time. And I really enjoying this. I think it's a really charming, lovely little game, because it's made out of the Netherlands, and like the voice actors are all like English speaking, but they're Dutch. So like it's their second language, and there's a little ramshackleness to the voice acting in particular that I think really, really adds to the charm. Where it's like it's not quite broken English, but there's every so often like they stutter in their sentences, which I think works for the idea that it's meant to be improvised theater, because of course every so often they would stutter in their sentences. And like there's just something about people with English as their second language doing an improvised theater performance in a way that's very silly and charming that I think really makes this game work. And there's a bunch of stuff in between where it's like the whole plot about the stealing the diamond from the castle, and you wander the town, and there's a bunch of happenings in the town, and there's like a small murder mystery in one of the towns. And yeah, I think it's a very, very charming little game. I'm really enjoying it.
You're saying that you're like between the plays and stuff, you're going through the town and stuff to talk to people, and the one bit of the clip that I saw, it looked quite night in the woodsy. Like, is it all 2D in terms of like how you traverse around the place?
Yeah, and it even has like the text boxes that I assume is some kind of template.
Yeah, I think it's a Unity plugin that does that.
In Unity, that's like, it's the Night in the Woods text box. I know a ton of games have that exact text box, and it's like, there you go, that's the Unity text box, I guess. But yeah, it's very Night in the Woodsy. It's all 2D. The art is nice without being blow away. It's like, it's pleasant and works for what the game is without being something you'll be like, wow, what a great looking game. Yeah, I think it's really good. It was immediately jumped off the indie world, which I thought that was a good indie world this week. There was a lot of games in that I'm like, oh, especially Sports Story is out in December. I'm very excited for that.
Right, Sports Story.
And that game where that was like the digging game that I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Pepper Grinder.
Yeah, which looked like, if you remember the sand sections in Ori in particular, reminded me a full game based around those, which seemed really, really neat. And I want to play the cat game too. I said I have downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet. So yeah, there's a lot of...
all you need for that is you just need an actual cat. So I've got that one ticked off already.
It's just messing with your organized books and or pots and or jars.
She will do that. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, I'm quite curious by that. Is it? Do you get the sense that it's like any kind of lengthy game? Or do you think it's one of those kind of like 3-4 hours get in, get out sort of experiences?
Probably 3-4 hours, because I think I played it for about 3. There's 3 towns that you have to get the bouquets in, and then I assume some kind of royal theatrical spectacle finale, and I'm already in the 3rd town after playing it for 3 hours, so it's not very long. You can like get through one of the towns in about 40 minutes to an hour, because you only really have to do 3 performances, because you need to get 15 bouquets per town, and you can get 5 bouquets total per performance if you do it all right. So in theory you can get through it in 3 performances, unless you bungle up your genres, where you might get fewer bouquets because you don't deliver the genre of entertainment the audience wants that night, so you might have to do a 4th one. But I think 4 is probably the top that you should be doing per town, so it's like 40 minutes to an hour, so it's not that long.
Is there any like kind of like fail state when you're doing the performances?
See, I'm not sure because the performances do have like little quick time events where you're doing like a sword fight and you have to time it. But also, if you fail, it's not like game over because it's improvised theater. Like, it's just a different scenario.
If it fucks up, it's part of the performance. It was meant to be like that.
Yeah, so you just lose the sword fight and the play continues with you losing the sword fight as opposed to you winning the sword fight.
Right.
So you might get less or more flowers depending on winning or losing. Because there was one of the scenarios where I'm like, I feel like because they want... I think it was a spooky play that day, and there was something like that where I had to do sword fight. I was like, I feel like the better play scenario for here is me losing, so I'm going to go for it. And apparently I got 5 stars for that still, so apparently I was right in those creative decisions.
Sounds cool. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's a really, really pleasant, charming game with music, which also always helps because the game is made by a bunch of musicians who I believe do the voice acting themselves, which again adds the kind of ramshackle charmingness to it, and it really works. And by the looks of it, won't outstay its welcome. Yeah, very, 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 very pleasant game. Once Upon a Jester on Steam as well as Switch.
How much is it going for?
I have no idea. I just buy these games without checking, Mark. I think it was like $15-20.
Okay, cool, great.